Crypto noobs, happy early new year. I've been sick for 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. I literally lost my voice. I just got my voice back today, just in time for New Year's Eve. I'm so excited right now. If you guys have been watching Bitcoin, you notice it dropped down to what, 93,000, 90,000. I keep telling people don't leverage trade, because when you do that, these bots come out and they as soon as the leverage trades start getting called out, it just cascades down. People lose a lot of money. Meanwhile, the whales are just eating all the Bitcoin up. 2025 is going to be the greatest year for Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin. At least my greatest year over the last 14 years. But the cool thing is there's so much going on with Bitcoin right now. It's not even fair. So, hold on, I got a cough. This cough just won't go away. If you got shaken out in this last 93,000 dip, you need to buy back in. You should have been adding MicroStrategy. Every time MicroStrategy buys more Bitcoin, they sell stock in order to buy Bitcoin, the stock goes down, and people interpret that as a bad thing for MicroStrategy. It's great. It's going to be amazing, because when Bitcoin runs, MicroStrategy is going to run even faster than Bitcoin. Samson Mao is talking about Bitcoin going to $1 million by the end of this year, and if that happens, if Bitcoin and MicroStrategy were on a one-to-one basis, MicroStrategy would be sitting somewhere around $2,000 a share. But I think if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, you're going to see a $5,000 MicroStrategy this year. Or next year. I don't think it's going to go to $1 million. I think Bitcoin will go anywhere from 250,000 to 500. But we're getting ready to enter this what they call banana zone, which means that this exponential growth is going to happen overnight, where you might see a 10, 20, or even $100,000 spike overnight. If I talk too much, I start coughing. It's the strangest thing. Why can Bitcoin go to $1 million this year? Well, number one is that there are over 60 major companies that hold Bitcoin on their Treasury reserve right now. And, the U.S. Treasury last week said that Bitcoin is digital gold. So if the U.S. Treasury, who hates Bitcoin, by the way, is calling Bitcoin digital gold, then you know that Bitcoin is here to stay. There's massive growth. This cold has been a nightmare in institutional activity, and there's been an increased velocity in digital assets, meaning that corporations are adopting digital assets. Corporations are using digital assets to do trade. Russia is trading the U.S. dollar for Bitcoin. So Russian companies, last week I read, when I was in bed, that there are a lot of Russian corporations that are starting to use Bitcoin digital assets to trade rather than using the U.S. dollar. That's Biden's fault. If Biden hadn't weaponized the U.S. dollar, then we wouldn't be having this problem with Russia right now. But anyway, the Treasury has to roll over $7 trillion in debt next year, which is bad. Somebody's trying to call me. That means that you're going to see an increase in bond yields, and this is all good for Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's going to run because of the stupidity of the people who are running not just that, the U.S. government. BitGo's CEO, look him up. He was talking last week. He said that he's talking to all of his clients about adding Bitcoin to their treasuries. We're talking about corporate clients, so that's going to be significant. IBIT in 2024 had the greatest ETF launch in the history of the world of finance, right? They have over $50 billion in money was dumped into the IBIT Bitcoin ETF, which is it blew away gold, right? The gold ETFs. Now, right now, our national debt's sitting at over $36 trillion. Personal debt is sitting around $25.6 trillion. Real estate is sitting at $23 trillion. Student loans are $1.7 trillion. Credit cards are $1.3 trillion. There's so much debt right now in the country that I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to print ourselves, even if the government tries to inflate away the debt. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. They're going to piss a lot of countries off. They're going to destroy the dollar around the world. And when they do that, everyone's going to be running for some type of financial asset towards safety. And Bitcoin is going to be that answer. And I think that's going to happen this year. If it does, like I said, we're going to see Bitcoin run to minimum 250,000 by the end of next year, probably, or over $1 million, depending on what happens. Christian Lindner is the former finance minister for Germany, and he's encouraging the European Central Bank to add Bitcoin to the strategic reserve. And he's got a lot of power over there. Remember that Germany sold off all their Bitcoin last year, at like $20,000. Freaking morons. Now they're going to try and add Bitcoin back to their reserve. Gosh, some people are so brilliant. We got MicroStrategy continuing to buy Bitcoin. Michael Saylor said he's going to buy Bitcoin forever at the top. He doesn't care where he buys it at. We have a crypto-friendly government coming in on January 20th with Trump, who owns Bitcoin. J.D. Vance owns Bitcoin. Cynthia Lummis is trying to push this crypto bill through Congress, which they'll probably vote on that in the spring, I would imagine. But if any of these things come to fruition, if they get the Bitcoin reserve passed, if Cynthia Lummis's bill gets passed, you're going to see Bitcoin go to 1 million. You're going to see MicroStrategy go to 5,000. So if you guys are panicking because MicroStrategy's down or Bitcoin's at 90,000, this is your last opportunity, in my opinion, to get in at these prices, because you're never going to see these prices again. 2025 is going to be the year for Bitcoin, the year for MicroStrategy, the year for the average retail investor to become a millionaire. So my suggestion, although I can't give financial advice, if I could take a mortgage on my home and buy more Bitcoin, I would, but my wife won't let me, because she doesn't understand money. The only thing my wife knows about money is money in, money out. How much money can I spend? I want a bigger diamond, that kind of crap. The usual stuff. But yeah, if you have a half a brain and you have money sitting on the sideline, if you have money sitting in your bank account for a rainy day, you need to buy Bitcoin. Because like Michael Saylor said, he says people who keep money as a store of value, there's a name for them. They're called poor, because the dollar is losing about 7% buying power a year right now. Do not keep your money in the bank. Buy MicroStrategy stock. Buy the IBIT ETF, which I've been telling you to buy it since it was $24 and it's over $50 now. Or buy Bitcoin. Enjoy 2025. It's going to be amazing. I'm actually going to spin this channel up and actually start doing some real cool stuff, because this stuff here, this communication is kind of boring. We're going to have fun in 2025. And we're going to be looking for Bitcoin to go to $500,000 to $1 million in 2025. Everybody, happy New Year. We don't have anything really planned for this evening other than probably going to sleep at midnight, drink a glass of wine, have a few steaks. I bought some steaks to celebrate. Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, but Crypto Noobs. Everyone, 2025. See you in 2025.